Hey guys, welcome. Let's get those cameras on if you can. And if you'll bear with me, guys, I've been Googling how to fix it, but apparently some people are still getting the meeting as 1979. So not sure what's up with that or how to fix it. That said, I always put in the notes when the actual meeting is, whether you're receiving it correctly or not. So just want to make sure everybody notes that. If you're a leader, by all means, I share it with everybody, but it's totally up to you. Please and thank you to make sure that your agents get that update. And if you'll bear with me, I'm just doing a couple things here. What's up, Randy, Carson, Steven, and Letitia are coming in. Again, thanks for bearing with me, guys. Just 1 second here. There we go. We're just helping a new agent get the coordinates, so bear with me. And what a great day. Just turned in another app this morning. Keeping busy. I hope you guys are too. I'll let Shelly in. I'll put a quick notice out to everybody that we're starting. This thing here. Welcome, new people. There's just a Google and Zoom calendar conflict, guys. So I'm just making sure everybody gets the link. Admitting people here. Latasha, welcome. I think this is the first time meeting you.
Yes. Hi.
Hello. Great to have you.
Thank you.
That's you, Latasha. I met.
Yes, we met on the other call.
Orientation, absolutely.
Right.
Welcome. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
I just have a few people that texted me, guys, so I'm going to hold off, but I hope you guys are having a wonderful week so far. I can't believe tomorrow's Friday. We'll get to news and notes here in just a sec. Oh, and if you guys don't mind, we did by the way, as long as I'm getting this for this gentleman who requested it, who had a chance to see if you're new, have you seen a corporate overview? Granted, you were interviewed, you probably have all the nice high spots, but want to make sure that you guys have seen a corporate overview. If you haven't, it definitely be in your best.
Oh, maybe Matilda could help you.
I gotta mute you, Eric Brooks. Love you to death, but I gotta mute you. Thanks, guys. I'm actually gonna put this in the chat as well if you don't have one. Latasha, have you had the pleasure of seeing a corporate overview yet?
I have not.
Okay, great. This will really get you primed for the opportunity here. Gonna get a shareable link. Okay, perfect. There's Mohammed. Excellent. So guys in the chat, if you haven't seen one, that's okay, Eric. I know that happens to me all the time. One time I had I think Shelly was there. I know Steve was there a few weeks ago. We were on a Huddle up, and usually you're automatically muted on a Huddle. And I was just having a heck of a time with Zoom, and I dropped a big F-bomb, thinking I was muted, and of course about 60 or 70 people heard it.
Shame, Mark.
Shame. Know your name exactly. So I get it. All right, guys. So if you haven't seen a corporate overview in the last, 6 months, there's so much going on in the company. So much has changed. Eric Brooks, Latasha Risher, James. Is that James McAuliffe? Who are you, James M? I know it's not James Bond. Yep, James McAuliffe. There you go. You're just as cool as James Bond, but the M gave it away. Although that's James Bond's boss, isn't it? M.
That's
Never.
right. I'm a combination of both.
Yeah.
So
And throw Q in there while you're at it.
that's good. Yeah, there you go.
All right. I did love the Q during the Roger Moore days, I have to say. So anyway, yeah, I'm getting to be old. So guys, there is a link in the chat there for a corporate overview that I had the honor to co-host with Gabby Roethlisberger. She's in another agency, but we met at Agency Owner Academy and just had a blast together, her and her husband, Fred. And Val was going to do one in California live. Unfortunately, Val's still getting over his COVID. And so he had to cancel the meeting and needed someone to step in and do it virtually. So Gabby and I had the pleasure of doing that. There's the link to it. If you haven't seen one, like I said, Carson, I think you've seen one because I sent you one via text when we first started talking, right? So, but Latasha, I'm not sure. Oh, that's John Chaney. John, you may not have seen one. Although John, we'll talk offline, but if you need any help getting to Vegas, please let me know. If you have the availability, I'll get you to Vegas. But guys, June 15th, Wednesday, if you are anywhere near Vegas or even just a cheap flight and you want to enjoy some time there, regretfully, I will be in Indiana. I'm glad I'm going to Indiana to see my parents. I'm not regretting that. But I'm going to be at a family reunion next week. So it's major case of FOMO, not being able to go to Las Vegas with all my besties and amazing leadership. Val Zarn's going to be there, Chris Cook, Jordan Gillum, Jared Gillum, Jeffrey Miller, Kimberly Miller, Brian Howell, Troy Stevens, Angie Gervasio. I mean, and her sister Amanda. So many of our team is going to be there. And it's probably going to be one of the best live events in the history of live events as far as our group is concerned, because so many people are going to have agreed to be there at the same time. And again, I have a major case of missing out there, but I know that you will get a lot out of it no matter where you are. Joe Martinez went from struggling on the phone to becoming one of the top agents in all of Symmetry by what? High activity, counseling with his upline, me and Chris. And also Joe went to every live event he could find. Now he lives in Nowheresville, Arizona. I'm sorry. He lives in Bullhead, Arizona. And it didn't matter where it was, Indiana, Florida, Maryland, he'd go. Joe would just go to every meeting. And within a matter of months, he became top at Symmetry. He's won 3 carrier trips in the last year. He's going to Costa Rica. He went to, he actually opted for the money because of COVID and all that. Won a trip to London from Mutual of Omaha, Bahamas, from another carrier. So just crazy stuff can happen, guys, if you plug in, associate, and apply. No joke. I'm singling you out because I'm so proud of you and so honored to be in business with you, Mohammed. But Mohammed Ba's business picked up like crazy after a live event in Maryland. And I don't think that's a coincidence, right? It just happens. Kaylee Porcher. I don't think Kaylee's on. I'm going to tell Dustin we're on because I think she'd want to be on. Kaylee Porcher is a brand new agent. She went to the one in Orlando, and no kidding, though she hyperventilated through it. I helped her with her first appointment. Didn't even have her carrier contracts yet, and she helped a family with 3 apps. And that was because she got that faith, right? She went to that thing. You guys heard her on the call last week. An 11-year-old is doing dials for his parents. So you guys that aren't doing dials regularly, I'm not judging, I'm not shaming. I'm just saying we're building a business here, right? And a business requires consistency. James McAuliffe and I know that. I know a lot of other people know that. But as an entrepreneur, guys, it seems an unsurmountable feat in the beginning if you're truly going to be building a business, because you have to figure it all out yourself. And what you learn slowly but surely is oh my gosh, if I'm not cold calling or putting up flyers or doing this or that every single day, every single week, I'll never build a client base. Thank God for Symmetry. Here, you don't have to figure any of that out, right? We've got the inventory. You just need to invest in it, right? You don't open a, you don't open a widget store without widgets on the shelves. So you need inventory, right? But you've already got the customers. They're all there. Now, does every customer that walk into the department store buy a pair of shoes or a new suit? No. A lot of them come in the store, right? But only a handful get that suit. Some of them get the Armani suit. Some of them just need a pair of Keds. Do they still make Keds? I'm not knocking Keds, but those are the shoes that I was afraid to wear in the playground when I was little. So Zips. I think Zips and Ruse. Oh my gosh, I'm old. Do you guys remember Ruse? Probably not. If you are, you probably were around in the caveman days, but look it up. It was pretty funny. We had some interesting shoes back in the day. Do you remember Ruse, James? Why am I bringing that up? I totally digress talking about shoes here. The fact is, guys, so many people walk into stores, right? Only a handful buy. It's the same thing here. You've got to put in the dials, right? You've got to service those families. Some people are just looking. Some people need it tomorrow, right? Some people need it yesterday. And the only way to find out who this is right for is to talk to them all. And for you newbies, that, dialing can be frustrating here and there. I get it, because of that game, just like it's frustrating for the shoe salesman that walks around and we run away from, right? Can I help you? No, God forbid. But sometimes you really need it. And you're like, yeah, where's that, cowboy boot with the snake skin? Okay, it's over here. Great. So that's what we got to do. You must apply it with consistency. If you had a pile of lottery tickets, 100 of them, and only 15 were winners, you stop at 84, right? You scratch off 84 and be like, this is so tiring. It's so frustrating. Oh, none of these are winners, right? No. So I'm telling you, the metrics work. The winners are in there. The families that need your help are in there, but you got to do a lot of scratching to find them. Okay. The older the leads, the more scratching you'll do. But if there's somebody that you can help in there, was it not worth all of those no's? I hope it was. So a few announcements now that we've got. We have a small group in here. I don't know. So who's having issues with the calendar? Who didn't know that today's meeting was at 10:30 in 2022? Who thought this meeting was in December 1st of 1979? As I'm reported, has been on some people's calendars. Quick tech fix here. Anybody want to weigh in on that? Did you guys know when to come? Shelly, I know you reported you got a 1979 invite. I know Angie got one last week. So, I'm preaching to the choir here, but I do always put in the description the actual time, right? And preaching to the choir, but I hope leaders can pass this on to your agents. If you see something for 1979, reasonable deduction can lead to it's probably not taking place in the past. It's probably a calendar issue. And you might want to reach out and say, hey, it says 1979, when is the meeting, right? And I'll gladly tell you. So again, it's kind of tough. I'm preaching to people that are here and you figured it out. So please spread the word. Leaders, please talk to your agents. Yes, Shelly.
So do you use the same code and everything every week for this one?
Well, I use the Google plugin, so I can't answer
because
that
if you get the same code every week, then people will know and they can just put that somewhere. And then every time that you have a meeting, they know it's at 1:30. If it changes, they still have that code. They can punch in and just say join.
Well,
can you do that?
That's a good question. Let me see where this goes. I'm going to open it in a new tab.
Because in that way, they can just keep that and they'll have that. They won't have to worry about it. And if you change the time or something like that, then they still have that number to join.
Same link every week. So.
Okay. Well, then you can just tell people, copy and paste that somewhere, put it in there and put it in their calendar.
Thank you. I'll send that to the group today, just so you guys can book it in your calendars or recurring event. Dustin Hensley, is a tech genius. He might be able to help me with this, but Dustin, you just popped in here. Just so you know, some people are getting an invite that says December something 1979. I think it's a Zoom plugin issue. I don't know how to fix it. And it could be costing some people that don't feel compelled to reach up and reach out. It might be costing them a meeting. So anybody that has a solution for that, let me know. Shelly, I love your fix for now. I'll email everybody and let people know.
Yeah, I thought you just took my Michael Jackson reference earlier and you were going to be in character.
Exactly. I love that. I loved your gift. I'll be there, and you are. And hopefully, again, leaders, you can spread the word. Speaking of Randy, since Randy's on here, I'm going to put him on the spot. I mean, he's there with his daughter, Lorelai. So here he is. You know, where's Lorelai? You gonna pick her up? I thought you were. You don't have to. She's beautiful. Look at that. That's Randy's Y, guys. Talk about having your Y right in front of you. He literally has his Y in front of him. So, and giving her food and drink and all that in between his dials and recruiting interviews and everything else. So I just want to give a special shout out to Randy. He's, you know, Randy's a brand new agent. He just got licensed not too long ago, got through training very quickly, and is plugging in and applying everything he's learning the way that, you know, a new recruit should. And again, this is a generalization, because some of you are here for maybe just some part-time income, right? Some of you aren't necessarily here to build a business or create passive income or any of that stuff. That's okay, right? It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. But for those of you that did come here for the vision that's laid out in that corporate overview, take a note from those that are doing, guys. And I'm so proud of Randy. I'm super honored to be in business with all of you. But just a special spotlight on Randy, because here he is with Lorelai. You know, his wife's working, he's working. They're waiting for childcare to kick in July, I believe, right? So in spite of all of that, he's been doing what it takes to get things done. Wrote his first 2 apps, his first week out, actually second week, but that's because of a tech error, I believe, on the SBLI side. So has gotten the leads, jumped into the fire, right? If you can read, you can do this job. What's that quote from Dodgeball? If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. So if you can read truly and add counseling up to that, you can do this job. It's just, will you, right? And will you do it with a high enough level of activity to yield results that the metrics say you will yield on that average timeline? So I want to see success for everybody here. And again, Randy, just proud of you. Let's give it up for Randy. He wrote his first 2 apps already, right? He's set his first 2 interviews. He called me up and said, hey, I'd like help recruiting. I want to start out recruiting on LinkedIn, right? They have free ads there. You can also do a daily budget and cancel it whenever you want. Maybe you just want to do, you know, $5 or $6 a day on a 3-day run and see what that's like. You can close your job ad. What did Randy do? He asked me, right? I don't know who wants help. I don't know who needs help. But if somebody calls me and says, Mark, I want to start recruiting, what are some ideas you have? And we'll talk it out and we'll get you going. Randy and I hopped on a Zoom. He placed his first ad. Best copycat wins, right? He didn't try to reinvent the wheel. He said, can I have your ad? Sure, Randy, here's my ad. That's what he used, right? And he's already got some interviews set up. So also, Randy, are you booked for conference? Randy's booked for conference, right? Because conference is the biggest training event of the year, guys. And speaking of that, yes, I'm going to beat a dead horse here until it's Elmer's glue. You guys must get registered for conference. I don't beat horses, guys. I would never do that. And do they really make glue? Did they ever make glue out of horses? Where did that come from? Anybody? I'll Google it.
I was just about to call Peter on you, Mark.
What's that?
Just about to call Peter on you.
Exactly. No, don't call them. I've never beat a horse in my life. Especially not in a race. But the glue thing always scared me when I watched cartoons, and I never bothered to Google it. So, and you don't want to go to the glue factory, right? If you know what I'm talking about. So get to conference, stay active, stay busy, right? Get your ticket for conference. If you need help, guys, the only alternative to not going or to going to conference is not going. And then you just got to ask yourself, why am I not registered yet? Is it money? Is it lack of belief? It's usually one of those things, right? And I'll tell you, I don't want to sound insensitive, but it was money for me. And you know what my mentor said? That's exactly why you need to go. Figure it out. Okay? And I pass that on to you. That's not necessarily my style, but maybe it needs to be, because it woke me up. And Steve Devine and I hopped in that van with 5 other people and split gas and split a motel room, and we made it work, right? So if the Hyatt Regency is not necessarily somewhere you can stay, even though it's right across the street, fine. Go find the Red Roof Inn, right? And an Uber, right? Or ask another agent to, ride share with you, something. Figure it out. Steve Devine was kind enough to share a code today. I'm going to put it in here, Frontier Airlines. So guys, one of the biggest barriers to entry for those that use money as an excuse not to go. And I do say excuse because you can figure it out. When you want to go to that concert, when you want to go to that game, when you need your Starbucks every morning, right? That's a conference ticket. A month of Starbucks is a conference ticket, right? And probably your airfare too these days. Gas prices, right? So guys, Frontier Airlines save 50 is the code. One of the biggest barriers to entry for those that think that budget is in the way. And I say think, not because I'm being insensitive, it's because no one here to date has reached up to me and said, Mark, I really want to go. Budget's an issue. Can you help me figure it out? So I'm assuming no one has any budget issues right now. Okay. Why should I assume otherwise? I haven't heard otherwise, right? My crystal ball broke. It's in the shop. I don't get it back until after conference. So you must consult with your upline if you're having a lack of belief as to why you should go, because it's a must. And if you don't understand why it's a must, just ask, like, Mark, why do you keep talking about this? Why is it such a must? Don't I get everything on Zoom? I thought you guys just spent $20 million on technology. Don't I get enough there? No, you don't. And I can't explain it because it's an in-person thing, right? Somebody who hasn't had a baby, try to explain childbirth to me, right? Someone who hasn't been to the beach, try to explain a day at the beach to me. You can't do it. You can't do it. You don't know what that salty air smells like, it feels like. You don't know that the sand exfoliates your feet until they feel like a little baby's feet, right? You don't know any of that stuff because you haven't been, okay? So I say this with love. Get registered if you're not. And leaders, I say everything with love, but step it up. Your agents need to be there, okay? You're doing them a disservice if you're not stressing the importance of conference. So who knows how to get to register for conference? Who doesn't know how to get registered? More importantly. Okay, great. No issues there. You guys know how and where, right? So get it done. Frontier Airlines, guys. Save 50 is the code. Southwest, I posted on band. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, I'm going to let her know we're in here in case she
Hey, Mark.
wants to join us. Yes, Mohammed, please.
There was I think it was a group text that came out yesterday about seating at the hall in conference. If you can pick your seat, I clicked on it, but there was nothing there that says anything about picking up a seat.
Okay, yeah, they did mention that, and I think they're still rolling that out, but let me check if we got any AO emails on that. Because pretty soon, and that's why you want to get registered, guys, pretty soon they are going to be, this is the exciting part. You guys don't even understand what you're up for here, but they'll give you a curriculum and you get to pick out what classes you want to take. Now, if you're brand new, I'm going to recommend some classes that should be mandatory, like phone training, home training. But if you want to learn about IULs, annuities, be a better leader, build a better mindset, I mean, you name it, some 6-7 figure earner leader is going to be teaching a college level course on the subject, right? So, when we get to pick what classes we attend, it's going to get super exciting here. Angie, I hope you don't think I was being passive aggressive. I just texted Angie the link, like, get over here. No, but I didn't say that. I just texted her the link because I know some people had calendar issues. And Angie, I was just edifying you for that wonderful work of service you did last night. She texted us and told us about the Southwest sale, which is fall 40. There's the code. Angie booked her trip for like $160 a round trip for Denver. She's one and done. She's registered. Her hotel is reserved. The hotel doesn't cost anything, guys. You just reserve it, right? And if you need help with the ticket, I have owner's packs. I'll help you with that. So take advantage of one of these, get your flight done, and you're booked, right? Now, that said, I think we've made the glue, didn't we? So now I want to go over the contest again. Lauren sent me some good stuff here. All right. So I'm going to put the contest requirements in the chat. Don't worry about those question marks. Those are bullet points. So please copy and paste that. I'm going to forward you guys an email today. But there's some really, really great prizes going out. Number one, I announced last week, new people. I announced last week, if you bring 5 people to conference with you, I'm going to help you build your team. That's what I'm doing here, right? This isn't a bribe or blackmail or anything like that. I'm helping you build your team. I want to see you build a successful agency, right? So the gift is conference itself. I'm simply adding a little bit of gravy to make sure that you guys understand how important I feel this is for you, right? So, hold on, Paul Galami's writing an app. That's high priority. He's helping a family right now and needs a login. So just give me 1 second, guys. This is what happens when you reach up, guys. I am here for you. If you haven't taken advantage of that, please know I will do just about anything for you guys. Except enable a weak mindset and act as a crutch. There we go. That should work. Where was I? Oh, the contest. So I will email you this document that Lauren put together. It's a lot of moving parts, but I promise if you just peruse it, you'll understand it. But first and foremost, what I'm offering the team is exclusive of what the cooks are offering and what us leaders are offering. If you have 5 confirmed attendees outside of yourself at conference, that means we'll take the toll at conference, right? We won't know unless they show up. But if you have 5 confirmed attendees for conference, all the way up to a 90% contract. So if you're brand new, this is a no-brainer. If you're above a 90, then you're already well on your way. You don't need this, right? So if 5 people confirmed attendance at conference, I will give you a 5% commission bump right there. You don't have to worry about the production qualifications or anything. I will issue a 5% commission raise for you. If you bring 10 or more to conference, I will issue a 10% commission raise for you. That's the equivalent of 4 months of hard work, or 2 on the slingshot level, right? You're going to get that because I want to encourage you guys to build a team, because building a team will stimulate your growth as an agent, as a leader. And guess what? I respect any reason for your being here. But for those that are here to build a business and build a legacy, it's my duty to help you speed the plow there. And building is the #1 way to do that, because leadership happens at that point, right? You're forced to grow into that leadership. It's pretty incredible what can happen to you personally when you really embrace that. So you guys see the thing there. There's going to be 1 winner from each AO group. So somebody in the Jeff Miller organization, somebody in the Joe Martinez organization, somebody in the Mark Newbauer organization. Even though Martinez and Miller are in my organization, because they are agency owners, you know, you start to kind of get your own permissions, and everybody starts working accordingly. So every one of us has the opportunity to win this, right? In the Jordan Gillum and Jared Gillum agency as well. And that's you, James, right? You're with Laura and Barry. So the Gillums are doing this, Valzarn's doing this, Elijah's doing this. So you guys have my my contest for the 5 and 10%, and I may even throw some more stuff in there. But the Reimagine contest that the cooks are holding and all of us agents have agreed to pitch in for is each AO winner. So each winner out of each agency owner group, the Gillums, the Zarns, the Newbauers, the Millers, the Martinez, if you're in those agencies, right, the Carujos, there will be one winner that will receive $500 to be presented at conference. The grand champion receives a 3-night hotel stay and 1 conference ticket to be presented at conference. Well, why do I need a ticket if I'm already there? Well, what we mean is we're going to reimburse you, right? So we'll pay for your hotel, we'll pay for your ticket, and you're good. 15 conference attendees minimum to be the grand champion winner. So that means including yourself, you must have 15 people attending in order to be a grand champion. The agency owner whose group has the grand champion. So Shelly, let's say you win it. You're in my agency. You'll receive an invitation. Guys, this is so exciting. I should have even changed my inflection. I forgot what I was reading here. This is really cool though, guys. I don't think we can announce where we're going yet, but there is a beautiful, beautiful leadership retreat plan. Now, Shelly, you got to come to the Christmas party in Tennessee, you and Terry, where we played that fun gift giving game. Well, we went on a leaders retreat in Tennessee, guys. We stayed in the most beautiful cabin in the mountains, in the woods. We went to Dollywood for a day. We had a retreat. We did journaling, meditations, training. It was just incredible. So all of us leaders went. And now we thought, you know what? This is so valuable that we want to treat people that are acting like leaders from the get, right? One of our core values is we act like owners because we own it, right? You want to change your present, have a bigger future. So whether you just started or you're in licensing, you're an owner, guys. You're a business owner now, right? So we want to help you grow that. So that the top 10 overall promoters will receive, and that's outside us agency owners. We're going to be there anyway because it's leaders retreat. But the top 10 overall promote. So that means if you win this, guys, you're not only going to be invited to a beautiful location, but you're going to be associating. You see enough of me, so who cares about that? But you're going to be associating with Val Zarn, Elijah Carujo, Brian Howell, Jeff Miller, Kimberly Miller, Jordan and Jared, Elijah and Maggie. I mean, incredible. I can't tell you what I learned from my fellow leaders at the last one. So anyway, top 10 overall promoters outside of AOs will receive an invitation to the leadership retreat in October. I believe it's the 13th or the 15th. And you must have only 10 attendees, right? So minimum of 10 attendees, and the top 10 promoters. So I go for that 15. So you get your trip paid for, and you'll probably be a shoo-in for the leadership retreat. Top 10 overall promoters. That's outside any of us agency owners. So every one of you has a chance to win that. And I promise you, association with these leaders will lead to some explosive growth in your agency. So 50% rule applies. What does that mean, Mark? Well, that means if you have a team, Shelly has a team, right? She just hired two new people. That means that, oh my gosh, stop it, Shelly. How many is that? 3 new people. Good for you. She's on a recruiting rampage. She literally just started the other day. So that's pretty cool. So what the 50% rule is, guys, it's just so we can't be lazy, for lack of a better term. So if Shelly's agent, Beth, recruits 15 people on her own, and Shelly didn't bring anybody but Beth, well, Shelly can only count 7 of Beth's, let's say Beth invited 16, because I don't want half a person there, gross. Eight people can count towards Shelly's numbers. So Shelly can invite another 8, or maybe Shelly's 2 other agents can invite 4. That would satisfy the rule, wouldn't it? Right? So you can leverage your agency in that way and help them help you help them in that way. Pretty great stuff. So, and then here's the scoring system. It resets every month. So guys, there's a new winner every month, right? Each registrant counts as 1 point. So that's easy enough. You get one person confirmed for conference and they show up, that's a point, right? So first place is 10 points, second place 9 points, third place, so on and so on and so on. So if you guys have questions about that, just let me know. I will forward that contest on after the call. And I invite you guys to use that as some added motivation. You should need 0 motivation to get to conference. That just should be a non-negotiable. You get a McDonald's franchise, you have to go to McDonald's University, right? Or they won't sell you the franchise, period. You don't well, I don't want to go. Well, then you don't get the franchise, right? So here you got the freedom not to go, but why? Why, right? This is where all of the training and association is. And I say this with love. I'm not going to fill in the gaps for those that don't go. You know what I mean? My job, your leader's job, is not to explain to you what you missed at conference, right? Same with the national calls. If you can't make a national call, that's okay. That's why they put them on the website. You can watch yesterday's national call tonight in your pajamas or no pajamas, right? Nobody cares. Just watch it and learn and apply, right? So that stuff's what's up to us as individuals. That's what being a business owner is all about. That's what being an entrepreneur is all about, right? I was listening to the conference call yesterday, and what Casey say, either Casey or Brandon said it. The definition or the trait shared by all successful people is they do the work even when they don't feel like it, right? They do the work when everything else sounds better. That's what you got to do to grow a business, guys. Take it from those of us that have. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. But oh my God, if you put them in, it is so worth it. It is so worth every drop of sweat, every drop of blood, and every tear that runs down your face during those hard times. We've all had them. Yeah, Casey talked about quitting phase, right? I've had a couple of quitting phase moments. Not gonna lie, I've been here 6 years. Probably had about three of those times in the last 6 years where I'm like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to take this next step? This is so hard. This is so much work, right? But look at the people I get to be in business with. Look at the people that are depending on me. Look at the people that I'm associated with, you know? Look at what this has done for our family. I can't tell you the way that, I mean, I've always been madly in love with my wife and vice versa, but just the look and the feeling that she gives me and that I got, you know, when I started producing consistently, right? She's always been so supportive of my other endeavors. Wasn't always putting food on the table, but she knew it was my passion, and God bless her. She even did special needs therapy for some time to support us through me getting things off the ground. But that didn't feel very good for me, knowing that that was the reason she was doing what she was doing. And when I found Symmetry and I decided that, you know what? Yeah, in the entertainment industry, this might seem like selling out. In my mind, this might feel like a compromise. This might feel like, you know, I'm just putting in I'm going to join the status quo and I'm giving up the dream, right? But that's not what it became. I did it because I knew my family deserved it. And when I got married and when I had children, my commitment was to make sure that we had the best life possible, right? That's the responsibility you take on as the leader of a family or co-leader of a family, right? And so without going too deep into that, because I'm sure you get the point, it changed me in so many ways that the other businesses started taking off. I know you guys have heard this before, but maybe not from that perspective. God, the universe, the source, you know, whatever you want to call it, that greater power, those laws that run everything that we do, right? boil it down to science, that's fine too. But we all know there's something out there, right? That's just all powerful that makes things happen. But in accordance to a certain set of rules, right? You must do things in the correct way to be rewarded in life. And that some people call it karma, right? You do good, you receive good. You do bad, you receive bad. And you receive that good and bad 40-fold of what you did. And guess what? It's not even in correlation to what you did. Sometimes you might do a tiny bad thing and a bigger bad thing comes your way. Sometimes you might do a little work of service and a big reward comes your way, and vice versa. That's the game of it. You never know when or how it's going to hit you. So you better be good, right? Like the Santa Claus song says, you better be good, for goodness sake, because the what's that Radiohead song? Karma police are out there watching, right? So anyway, same thing with your business. You will be rewarded. And I can't tell you, I feel like I'll just call it the gods, right? To be agnostic here to everyone's beliefs. The gods were just waiting for me to do the right thing. You know what I mean? To take the steps toward my best self. And the minute that I decided to do that and do it in spite of the toughness of it all, that's when the rewards started pouring in. And once you get that feeling, once you see that math, right? Like a beautiful mind, all those numbers floating around. Once you see that, you're going to want more of it. And you're going to start to understand how to create it, how to manifest it into your life, because you start getting the rules. It's pretty amazing. So that's why we're so adamant about building and about conference and everything else. You guys have those, you've got those. That's what I really want to focus on today. You have those flight discounts, fall 40 for Southwest. That's right. Oh, thanks for correcting, Dustin. And yeah, I love what Dustin said here. Arrive August 16th and depart the 20th, even though conference is the 17th to the 19th. And some people, again, you can hang with Val's arm. He'll probably be there 2 weeks after. He loves an adventure, and he loves adventuring with new people. So you can guarantee Val's probably going to be skiing, zip lining, doing the moguls and everything else, like who knows what. And he'd love your company. I know it, because he's a blast to be with, and he loves an adventure. So some people are making a vacation out of this. Now, if you're on that tight budget, time or money, whatever the case, August 17th, I can tell you, is going to be mostly registration. You definitely want to be there. Do not show up on the 18th, because that's conference early in the morning. But the 17th, if you need to get it late and just sign in and get your name tag and go to bed, okay, do it. Better than not coming. I'm probably getting there afternoonish. I'll get my sticker. Hopefully we can all meet up for an appetizer or something, get to know each other better, stuff like that, get you settled in your room. And then on the last night, we do the awards, the recognition, everything else. So conference probably officially ends it at 6 or 7. But so if you need to book a red eye, you can. But I highly recommend checking out on the 20th, because it's always just an amazing. Guys, what was that one year? We did the Symmetry's Got Talent the last night of one of our last conferences. I saw better talent there. I can't believe what some people do, and what their passions are. We had some rock bands, some actors, some magicians. Like, we had some amazing stuff, and I couldn't believe, like, this wasn't hired entertainment. These are Symmetry people's passions outside of what they do, right? And they got to shine on stage, and it was just incredible. So anyway, and need I say it again, this is like attending a Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Gary Vee. It's like attending one of those guys at a deep discount to what you pay for one of those. It's the same kind of amazing skills and lessons. David Roberts, welcome. I hope you weren't too thrown by the calendar invite. John Cheney, I'm looking at you, even though I can't see you. Let's talk about Vegas. I want to help you get there. John's one of our new agents down here in Phoenix. And Eric Brooks, keep up the great work. Does anybody have any questions or comments while I go through my notes and see if there's anything that we needed to hit on?
Still looking for someone to share a room with.
Thank you. I actually put that in the leaders chat. And you know what you might want to do, Mohammed, that I should have suggested last week? go ahead and put it out in band. And I'd put it out every couple days. Just say, hey, I've got an extra bed. I'm looking for a roommate for conference. You know, hit me up if you want to share in it, because I do share it with the other leaders, but there's so much going on. You never know if they're getting it out to their teams or not. So I highly recommend, if you guys want a room share, by the way, if you're here and you want a room share, Mohammed has a room, extra bed, and it'll save you, you know, half the, you'll save 50% on your hotel and accommodations. And like I said last week, guys, don't worry about sharing a room. You're not going to be in it. I mean, but to sleep. We are work, learn all day, all night. And then we get to sleep a little bit and we go back to it. So share a room. Why not? Save the money, put it towards leads, put it towards recruiting, more importantly, and get those people to conference. So if anybody would like to take Mohammed up on that, please let him know right here, right now. And Mohammed, you please put it on band and see what kind of response you get, and we'll keep on that for you. And I have a lot of interviews coming up, so I'll let people know as they get registered that, hey, we've got a guy that's, and this is going to pop up as we get closer, guys. It always happens. You're going to have a lot of people looking for room shares. So I'm confident we'll get that filled for you. Anybody else? Questions, comments? All right. Just so you know, guys, those of you that showed up a little late, no harm, no foul. Just wanted you to know if it's because the calendar invite was not showing the right time. And by right time, I mean right year. Some of you got an invite for December 1979. Please, if you see something like that, just hit me up. You know it's not going to be in 1979. So just hit me up. But it's at 10:30 Pacific, 1:30 Eastern, every Thursday. Same link you're on right now. Put it in your calendar as a recurring event. Donezo. And I'll see if I can fix the Zoom link. Again, Dustin, you might be able to text me and help me. I don't want to say too much, but Dustin's family could use your prayers today. So if you guys will all say a special prayer for Dustin's family, it would be much, much appreciated. Kaylee Porche, you came on a little late. I just wanted you to know we edified you at the beginning of the call. I am so proud of you. Kaylee's been dialing all morning. It's baptism by fire. She got her leads. She's dialing for appointments. She's in the process of writing her first 2 applications. Wow. I mean, she literally just started everything about a week ago, and very impressed with the diligence that you and Randy have applied this last week in particular. Everybody's doing a great job, but I really want to commend you guys on that.
Thank you.
My pleasure, Kaylee. I can't wait to see you and Kyle in Denver. By the way, guys, Kaylee's coming to Denver. Kyle's coming to Denver, right? I mean, it's just a no-brainer. So
Yes, sir.
and thank you, Kaylee. You've really been, I can't tell you what it's like when you hire a business partner who's ready to do business, right? Like it's a blessing, and you're a blessing, Kaylee. Randy, you're a blessing. David, you're a blessing. John, you're a blessing. Latasha, everybody. We're so grateful to have the opportunity to show you what we've learned, to pass on to you what, you know, our trials and tribulations and how to get through them. Remember, you got yelled at twice today and it was fun, and still not quitting. I love it. Hey, sometimes getting yelled at is the best thing in the world. Sometimes if you can even tame that lion, if you will, turns into the best appointments you could ever ask for. So yes, you're going to get, prayers for you, Dustin. You're going to get yelled at. You're going to get hung up on. It's not because they understand who you are and what you're doing. It's because it's robotic. You know how many spam calls I've gotten today? Do you know how many people that are legit that called me today that showed up as a spam call, right? We just don't know anymore. So that's why the script is so important. That's exactly why I'm calling is so important. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the phone training I sent some of you today. Those of you that are still in licensing and everything else, I haven't sent it, but I will. So consistency is key, and counseling with your upline, right? Kaylee's not going to talk to 5 people and get shut down without calling Dustin or me and saying, hey, I keep getting this objection. What would you recommend, right? And first thing I'm going to say is I recommend we read the script verbatim, right? That's the best way to start. Now you may find little things along the way that make it more you, but for now, just play the numbers, read the script, get through it with confidence. You're the professional. And yeah, not everybody wants to hear from you today. That's okay. Don't take it personally. Be a robot, be a robot, be a robot until you get the meeting. And now you're a servant, right? Now you're a servant leader. Now you're their helper. Now you're their friend. Now you're their advocate. But first, be a robot. Guys, my tax-free living. I said it in the huddle today. Thank you, those of you that were on the huddle to support. If you don't know what a huddle is, you haven't been to an orientation, right? So before I get into my tax-free living, I just thank God for Betsy Barr every day and her secret weapon, Jessica, her amazing admin. Betsy has set up www.sfgagentsuccess.com. This is where you go when you get lost, right? It's not to replace Quility, right? This is our internal website that we use for the Newbauer Agency. It's not to replace Quility, Quility U, Fast Track, Summit, any of that stuff, right? That's your best friend. You need to do that training. You need to stay plugged in. What this is for agents until they write their first 6 apps, right? Preferably, you become an SNA. What's an SNA, Mark? We'll come to orientation and you'll find out. Spoiler alert, SNA is seasoned new agent. It means you wrote 6 apps in your first 6 weeks here. Why? Why would I do that, Mark? Well, A, you came here to help families and make money, right? So why not? And B, statistically proven with all of the data and research that Symmetry has been doing since inception, statistically proven that those that write 6 apps in their first 6 weeks at Symmetry are on the right road and pretty much guaranteed success to a large degree, so long as they continue to employ that level of consistency, right? So that's the indicator. Do that for yourself, right? Set yourself on that path, get that momentum. It's like having the nitrous tank on your car. So our next orientation, for those that haven't been one, Randy, you've been to one, Eric, you've been to one, David, I think you've been to one, but congratulations to David. His son had his bar mitzvah last week. So he was kind of out celebrating and preparing for that. That's what's great about this position, guys, work-life balance. David was able to do that and jump in this week with getting prepped for his first set of dials and everything else. So congrats to you, David. Guys, if you're new, haven't been on an orientation, or if you're a leader and you've just hired people, Shelly, looking at you, right? Make sure they're on an orientation. Orientations are every Friday at 1 o'clock, or Monday night at 8 o'clock. These are Eastern time. So 1 o'clock Eastern tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern Monday. That should give everybody plenty of choices to make it. If you have a new agent, if you are a new agent, you want to get on that call ASAP, and we'll make sure you're on the right track throughout. Okay, my tax-free living is the last thing, and then we'll go. We got about 5 minutes. I will open it up to Q&A. And my tax-free living is it's a series of events that we hold here at the Newbauer Agency. We open it up to the entire cook group. That's my work of service for the cook hierarchy. I don't want to benefit off any of that, other than knowing that, hey, my fellow leaders now have more access for their agents to enjoy success here, right? That's what we do at Symmetry. We lead from the heart. You give to get, right? So you give to give, and you just give as a byproduct. So I am thrilled to be doing these for everybody. What it is an IUL seminar, Index Universal Life. We will most likely evolve into doing annuities as well, and debt-free life as well on a weekly basis. But right now we're doing Index Universal Life. What is that? Guys, it's a great life insurance policy that many people, not an IUL per se, but the exact same type of process. This is the product, for lack of a better term, that Walt Disney used to fund Disneyland, that Ray Kroc used to fund the McDonald's expansion, that the founder, I'm sorry, I forget her name, of Pampered Chef used to build Pampered Chef, to just start it out, her little startup, right? That was sold to Warren Buffett for 700 million, no, 900 million, 7 years after inception, close to $1 billion buyout, 7 years in. Couldn't have done it without the cash value in her indexed universal life and her permanent insurance, right? So, and I could name all kinds of people that have used it for other things. Doris Christopher, thank you, Mohammed. Doris Christopher, founder of Pampered Chef. You win the door prize today. Appreciate that very much. So guys, this is an amazing tool. I had tears running down my face the other day in an appointment because of how grateful my friends I helped with do a grow up plan for their kids, right? One of their children is so far onto the spectrum, right? He's not high functioning. He is autistic, low capabilities, for lack of a better term, as far as the insurance companies look at it. And we showed them how to protect the other children with a little extra premium so that the cash value would build up as if Gaston, the son, had the cash value growth himself. And at a certain age, they're going to be able to reallocate those funds for Gaston, who otherwise wouldn't have an amazing savings program like this. That just gave me chills and warmed my heart. So yes, what we do on the day-to-day, the mortgage protection, is super, super important for two reasons. One, it's in high demand right now, guys. People need it. A lot of people aren't covered. Nobody wants to have a GoFundMe page when someone in the family dies unexpectedly. They want to be covered, right? Secondly, it's great for you because we have a plug and play business model. You invest in leads, you service them, you get paid, right? It's amazing. Week after week after week. If you do the work, it will work for you. But IULs and annuities and all that stuff is something that we can do to help people while they're living, right? We don't get an IUL for somebody because they want a death benefit. Does it have one? Absolutely. Does it have living benefits like cancer, heart attack, stroke protection? Absolutely. But we use these guys. You'll see if you come to the seminar Tuesday, register right there, mytaxfreeliving.com. And I promise you'll be thankful that you did. Bring somebody. If it takes just asking for a favor, hey, my team is doing something new with tax-free retirement strategies. I just want to make sure it makes sense to lay people like yourself, right? I'm sure they'd love being called lay people. I just want to make sure it makes sense universally. So if you could please just attend this, let me know what you think, right? I want to make sure we're on the right track. Do that with 5, 10, 15 people. I guarantee you're going to have someone like I did round back and say, you know what, we want some help with that. That looks pretty amazing, right? Because the difference between IULs and other insurance is about, as Edith pointed out so astutely on the call today, the huddle this morning, life insurance can be kind of depressing for people because you're talking about death and lack of money and everything else, right? It's a necessity for most, but it's tough for people to wrap their heads around sometimes. It's not fun to talk about. With an IUL, you're going to find people don't ask, how much does it cost? They say, how much can I save? Why didn't anybody tell me about this? Truly. And what we're using it for is to create wealth for people. It has an amazing component that grows wealth tax-free, that through a special rule of the IRS 7702, not only grows tax-free, but you can access it tax-free. And we show you how. Pretty amazing stuff. You do that. I'm not, you guys come to the thing, but just to give you an idea what it can do for kids, for instance, $100 a month for a newborn up to age 18 will result in millions of dollars of tax-free income at retirement. Along the way, pay for college, pay for a down payment on a home, and cover school tuition all the way through. It's amazing. So I invite you to attend, but more than attending, guys, I invite you to invite. Bring somebody with you, right? Bring 10 people with you. You'll thank me because it's going to be a little gravy on top of your mortgage protection business. And all the while, you're going to have people saying, thank you so much, Eric. Thank you, David. Thank you, Latasha, for inviting me to this. I see how this is really going to help me and my family. How can we get started, right? So, and we do all the work. You don't have to know a thing about it. That's what's beautiful. Our own Nathan Bowers, who's a tax-free wealth expert, will be presenting this week. We usually rotate leadership. If you want to get involved with these, just let me know. We'll have you into some of the meetings and get you into the mix. But I say, focus on your mortgage protection business for now. Get in there, get your momentum built, and use this as an extra leverage piece. Leverage us, leverage the presentations, and let the extra business come forward as you really build out that sustainability in your own business. Phew. Did I say a lot today? Guys, do you guys have any questions, comments? Is this too much all at once every week? You just let me know. I want to make these very valuable for you guys. And at the same time, be extremely respectful of the fact that we've got work to do, right? You don't want to just be attending meetings all week, because then you're what? You're a professional student. I did not seek to hire professional students. And I say that with love. You can, and I'll love you for it if that's what you want. But no one that I interviewed said they came here to just be on meetings and learn. I just want to learn this stuff, right? No. They said, well, I want to change. I want more time. I want more money. I want to help people. I want to build a team. I want to be a leader. Great. It all starts with the work, and it takes consistency. So if you're stalled, get unstalled. Go move that rock. Go put that flap under the back tire and push yourself out of the mud. Call your upline. If it's me, call me. Whatever it takes, guys. Time is yesterday, right? Imagine that big future, and your present will change before your very eyes. But you got to have the vision, you got to have the goal, and you got to get to the live events when they're near you. So Vegas is coming up on the 15th. Get there if you can, if you're near. If you're not, guess what? There's one in Indianapolis. Check the website. I think it's the 23rd. Check the website. Indianapolis. And I'm sure we'll have one coming up in Knoxville, Tennessee pretty soon. And if you haven't seen one, if you're late to the meeting, you haven't seen a corporate overview, scroll up in the chat. I'll give you guys a few minutes to do that, a few seconds, somewhere in between. There's a YouTube link I posted at 10:36 Pacific, 1:36 Eastern. It's a YouTube link. That's a corporate overview. If you haven't seen one, grab that and watch it. And I'll just give you the time to do that. And I bid you adieu. All right, guys. Love you to death. You guys know I'm a film fanatic, so I've got to say, if you haven't seen the Top Gun sequel and you're a fan of the first one, go see it, right, Edith? And see it somewhere at the biggest screen you can find with the loudest speakers you can find. I had the honor and pleasure of seeing it in a Dolby Atmos. Yeah, wasn't it, David? I saw it in Dolby Atmos. They call it Cine Capri. It's kind of this theater's version of IMAX, but I prefer it because IMAX doesn't have the reclining seats. Cine Capri did. So I got to see it on a huge screen, Dolby Atmos. The seats were shaking. Guys, Tom Cruise didn't do any green screen in that movie. There's no green screen. Those are real jets, real flying, really dangerous stuff. And they did it all for the audience. What an incredible gift. So check that out if you're a fan. And this one, it's definitely a rated R movie. So proceed with caution depending on your taste and whatever. But I recommend it on my Facebook page. There's a movie called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. It was such an incredible experience. I hope you'll enjoy it. It was just an amazing, John Chaney with the glue. Thank you. I'm going to look that up. That's hilarious. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Why do I recommend this movie? For one, I love you guys, love associating, and I love recommending movies that impacted me. So go see Top Gun. The reason I recommend Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, as long as you can handle some of the adult content, it's not handle, but if you're okay with it. It's a movie about your potential. It's a story rather about what we could have been, what we can be, who we are, what makes our identity, what about the choices we made in life. It's just such a, I had tears through the whole thing, but I always do that during movies because I get impacted by film in a very transcendent way. But And my kids make fun of me every time. I mean, we watched Hot Rod last night with Andy Samberg, and I'll have tears if I'm laughing too hard. So whatever. That's why I don't see too many movies with people I don't know. But anyway, Everything Everywhere All at Once is such a powerful story about reaching your potential, living up to your potential, being true to yourself, being true to your loved ones, and really appreciating and recognizing what your decisions have led to bring you here in life, right? And what you can do about that. We have so much power, guys, that many of us haven't even started to explore. And that's one of the reasons Symmetry is so successful, is we don't focus on sales. The reason we talk about high activity and producing and recruiting is because we know it will yield, if you do it right, if you follow the instructions, right? Remember Back to the Future and remember The Greatest American Hero, right? You got to have the instructions. You got to follow them in order for it to work. But if you do that, guys, you're going to find yourself growing in ways that you didn't imagine, that maybe you didn't even come here for. And with that will come a whole new life. And love this movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was pretty incredible. The trailer's on my Facebook page if you want to check it out. And that's it. I'm really done, for real, guys. Thanks for sticking around. David, I'm going to talk to you in 22 minutes. We have a call. And if anybody needs anything in the meantime, just hit me up with a text or a call. Thank you guys so much. Honored to be in business with all of you. Take care.